Hey everyone, let's see, it's October and the sun is shining and it's beautiful outside, and that means it's a perfect day for planting my garlic. Anyways, I'm just gonna make this a quick video. If you haven't ever planted garlic before, it's super simple. It's really kind of like a plug and play. You put it in the ground and then you harvest it around June, and it's fantastic because there's nothing better than fresh garlic. Grocery store garlic doesn't even compare. Today I'll be planting two types of garlic. This one here is a soft neck. You can tell because its bulbs are kind of just all over the place. This one here is a hard neck. This one has just one row of cloves, and it's going to put up a scape, usually around like May, June, April, May. In which case you're going to want to cut that scape off. They're delicious. You cut off the flower top, you chop it up almost like a garlicky green bean, and you can put it in all your food. They're great. The soft neck, I've never grown them, but my understanding is they don't actually put up a scape per se. So, but the benefit to this is that you can make these into those lovely garlic braids, and I'm kind of wanting to try that. This is also a variety that's supposed to do better in high climates. This is a Transylvania garlic. I just got it from Baker Creek, so let's see how that goes. This is where I grew my corn earlier this year. It did not do well because the heat and my watering system. My new watering system that I probably should have tested in one bed first turned out to be not such a great idea the way I implemented it. So my corn struggled. I didn't really get much of a crop. So what I have done is I have cut them off at the surface level. I don't pull them back. I don't pull them out of the soil. I just cut them back right here. And I leave the roots in the soil because that becomes a highway for microorganisms. Less work for me, good for the soil. I went ahead and gave it a good watering, I think yesterday. And the goal now is to just get some of this in the ground, and I'll just give you a quick rundown of how I do that. These are my hardneck garlic. You'll see that some of them are coming right out of their paper wrappings. That's one of the nice things about growing your own garlic, is that it's just a lot easier to peel in my experience. And then here's one that didn't come out of its paper wrapping really easily. I mean, I could if I wanted it to, but really it doesn't matter if I plant it with the paper wrapping or not. I might just peel the top of it back so it doesn't have to fight so hard to sprout. But otherwise, super easy. This is the bottom side. This is where the leaves will sprout. And so I want to plant it in this orientation with the root side down. I chose my largest garlic heads from this spring, and the reason why is because this clove here will turn into a large garlic head versus this little dinky one, which I may just take back inside and cook up and eat. Here's one that's in less than stellar shape. It looks a little bit rough. I will take this in, I'll cut that off, and I'm going to eat this one. I'm not going to try planting it. Along with my two smallest ones. And it's interesting, the soft necks have a slightly different shape than the hard necks do, which makes sense. And then if you start looking at them, these are a little bit matte colored. They are a little bit soft. But if you look at the top of them, they're starting to turn, I don't know if you can see it, they're starting to turn green, and the beginnings of leaf nodes are beginning to form. So these are going to be ready to go. And this one is completely rotted. I'm just gonna toss this in for bugs to eat. Now, planting them in the ground is pretty simple. I use a spade just because some of these spots are a little harder to get down past my mulch, and I just like easy. So I'm going to take this, remember this side is the root side, this is the leaf side. I'm going to set it down just so that it's maybe 1 inch to 2 inches down. I want it to be just below the surface, and then I just cover it up and done. These will need to be watered throughout the winter, not terribly much. You will see that they'll sprout before they go dormant in the cold weather, and you want that because that means that they've established a root system that they can then wake up and use in the spring when they wake up again. So these will send up some brief leaves from October, November, maybe into December, and then they'll die out again for a few months, and then like maybe March you'll start seeing them come back up. at which point they'll send up shoots kind of like an onion, like a scallions would. They look almost like scallions. You can eat them just like onions. They have a nice garlicky flavor. Just make sure you don't harvest all the leaves on one particular plant because it needs those to make all of the food that needs to make the lovely, yummy garlic heads that we love so much. And then usually around July, you'll have, all of your garlic. You'll set it out, you'll harvest it. I'll go over this with you in a video next year probably, but you'll harvest it and set it out to cure for 2 to 3 weeks, usually about 2 weeks in the shade, nice dry shady spot. And then you can bring it in. I'll break off the stems and the roots and then store them inside, and depending on the type and the variety, they can last anywhere from 3 to 6 months in a cool, dark space. And this is all of them a couple weeks later, already peeking through and growing through the mulch all on their own, all ready to go. I hope that's useful, helpful information. I know that I watched my fair share of videos about growing pretty much everything I've ever grown, so figured while I was here doing this, I would share it with you and pass the torch. Take care, guys. See you next time.